Nick Rudder from McKee's 37. In this video, I'm going to showcase our graphene Deep Gloss Ceramic Sealant. This product bridges the gap between a long-lasting graphene-oxide ceramic paint coating and a traditional synthetic paint sealant. It gives you the best of both worlds. So with this particular product, it has a blend of ultra-refined graphene-oxide ceramic resins that form a shield over your vehicle's paintwork, protecting it against the UV rays, bird droppings, environmental pollutants, water spots, acid rain, and anything else that will cause your vehicle to dull over time. It's really easy to apply, and you don't have to be a professional, and it's compatible with all of your existing polymers and your ceramics, so you can use it as its own standalone form of paint protection, or if you get your vehicle ceramic coated and you want to apply something else because you're a car guy and you love touching your paint, you can apply this as well. So it's thick, it's easy to use, it leaves the paint slicker than snot, and it wipes off without breaking your elbow. If you've used any kind of traditional liquid wax, you can use this, except it's even easier. So shake it well, and for hand application, you can use a foam applicator pad like I have here. And it's designed to be applied to your vehicle after you wash and dry it. If you have not used a clay bar in a while, I'd recommend doing so. We have a separate video on a clay bar. What a clay bar does is it's a synthetic polymer clay, and you rub it across the surface after spraying lubricant, and it shaves off bonded contaminants, and it leaves the paint really smooth, so the sealant will adhere better. I'd highly recommend doing that if you haven't done so yet. And also, if you have any oxidation, use a polish first as well. Otherwise, this guy's ready to go. So shake it up, apply some to an applicator pad, and like I mentioned, it's a nice creamy formula. It does not take a whole lot, and it spreads on really, really thin and really nice. This red Mercedes, after I apply this, it's going to go from looking amazing to looking like an award-winning show car. So it already looks good, but this is going to take it to the next level. So you can always apply it by hand. Me personally, I like to work by machine, and the reason why is my hand eventually gets tired, the machine does not. So one of our most popular tools this year has been our Flex PXC80. This is a cordless mini polisher. It's built in Germany. It includes two 12-volt batteries along with a charger. And I've got a separate video on it where I really go in deep, but it has 3 different heads, so you can use it as a 3mm orbit, a 12mm long stroke, and a direct drive rotary, because you have this quick change cuff right here. And it's a very flexible tool. It's great for professionals and for beginners as well. And it's got variable speed. This guy is great for polishing tight areas, but one of my favorite applications is, I think it weighs like maybe 3 pounds, for applying a thin coat of wax or sealant. So that's what I'm going to use, because in the real world, that's how I would apply graphene ceramic sealant. So using a black foam finishing pad from our Redline series, this is a 3 3/4 inch. I'm going to apply a bead of product like that. And what I'll do is, to get uniform application, I'll dab it in a few separate areas. And with this tool, you turn it on right there. And I'll be at the speed 3 to keep that pad rotating. And as I go over my area, when I come here, I'm going to pick it up by tilting the machine just a little bit. So it's a fast action. You might be able to catch it, but just in case you miss it, you'll see me go like this, and I'll come back down. So check this out. And applying it by machine, besides saving your arm, you get a more uniform coat as well. So there's a number of benefits to using a tool like this. And I have it in dual action mode right now, so I'm not going to instill any swirl marks or scratches. Speed down. Apply a nice uniform coat. And like I said, this machine really weighs, next to nothing. Okay, so I'm going to come right here, and you'll see me tilt the machine like this, and I laid it flat. And by spreading it out like that, you get more uniform application. And you just go over each section, 3 or 4 times until you have a nice uniform coat. You can go in long strokes like this. You can do short strokes. You can go like this if you want. Write your name in it. And I-C-K, whatever you want to do. So see if you can capture this, cameraman. I'm coming up on it. Boom, like that. Spread it out. And you can see why I like to use this tool, because versus applying it by hand, this is much, much easier. But if you apply it by hand, it's still an easy product. It just takes you longer. All right, here we go. Last chance. You ready? There you go. And you can apply it on chrome here, like you'll see. Go over the chrome. So that initial application was enough to cover half the hood. And this is a pretty big hood on this 89 Mercedes. I'm going to turn the machine off, and I'm going to make sure that my pad is still touching the surface when I turn it off. There we go. So that's how you apply it by machine, which is always my preferred method. Again, it saves you time, and you get a more uniform coat. You use less product, and this product needs to dry to a haze, which takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes depending on the level of humidity. What's really, really cool about this formula is, and I've done this before, and this is really popular if you have a garage, apply it like, let's say, in the evening or in the morning. Let it sit all day, and you can even let it sit overnight, and you come back and you wipe it off. What happens is when the paint sealant dries, it cross-links and it forms a really strong web of protection over your paint, and that's what makes it so resistant to alkaline detergents, acid rain, and like I mentioned, anything else that plagues your vehicle's paint from day-to-day use. So let it dry to a haze, and I can speed it up here by using my microfiber towel, but it's best to let it sit up on itself for a solid 10-15 minutes, 5 minutes if it's really dry where you're located, and it's super easy to wipe off. So after it dries to a haze, take your microfiber towel. This is our premium gold towel. One side has a fluffy nap, it's 360 GSM, and the other side has a flat weave. So it's a dual purpose towel. The fluffy side is great for your final wipe or for using it with detail sprays, and the flat weave side is great for buffing off polishes and waxes. So I'm going to use the fluffy side to break it loose because this is really, really easy to wipe off. And the way you wipe off a paint sealant or a wax is you have your towel folded 4 ways. You don't want to have it all bunched up like this because you'll scratch the vehicle. So have it folded 4 ways. It makes it a nice manageable size. That's about 8 inches by 8 inches square. And instead of wiping like a wild man that forgot to take his medication, what you want to do is you take short, firm strokes using your towel, and it takes little bitty bites out of the sealant and it breaks it free. It's much, much easier to remove a product using this technique. And it comes off really easy, and the longer you let it sit, the easier it's going to be to wipe off. Now here's the deal. Make sure you're listening carefully, and this is on the instructions too. Don't let it sit on a hot panel out in the sun. When I say let it sit all day or all night, I'm referring to your garage, like where we are now. Don't let it sit in the sun all day, because then that's not a good situation for any product from any manufacturer. So it comes off really easily. You flip your towel and you just keep on wiping. Take your time, turn on your favorite music, your radio station. It's always nice to use a product that's easy to wipe off. Over the years, I've used a lot of different products, a lot of chemical formulations, lab samples, competitors' products, and having something that's hard to wipe off, it's no fun. It's not fun selling products that are difficult to use. So there you go. That's our graphene Deep Gloss Ceramic Sealant. It's going to leave the paint really slick, and what you'll notice is after you initially wipe it off, a couple hours later, it's just going to keep getting slicker and slicker and slicker. And when water hits it, it's going to fly right off. And like I mentioned, it's going to protect it. And if you have a dark color car like this red, it's going to add depth and warmth and gloss and make your paint look like a pool of ink. If you have a lighter color vehicle that has some metallic flake in it, it's going to make that flake really pop out, and it'll have this beautiful finish. So again, that is our graphene Deep Gloss Ceramic Sealant. I'm Nick Rudder from McKee's 37. The best way to maintain this shine is to use our graphene auto wash and our hydrographene. And then in between washes, for touch-ups, you can use our graphene detail spray. So check it out on McKee's 37 website. And if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you again real soon.